Okay guys, can we listen and look at the board please? So our learning intention today is I can show my knowledge through an informal email. So on that board we have nothing to do with what we've covered in class, but we do have two skills. First of all, that you can show somebody something, that you can collect all the things that you've learned over the last few weeks and show somebody everything that you know, and there's lots of different ways you might do that. And today we're going to do it through an informal email. And writing an informal email is a skill, because if you'd never done that before, you wouldn't know what to do, what was acceptable, what wasn't, and how to format it, and what to do really. So let's take a moment to think about that. So over the last couple of weeks in class, what have we been looking at? What's the big question we've been looking at? So if you've totally forgotten that, look back in your document, a quick scramble trying to find what we've been looking at. Darcy? That was what we looked at last week, Darcy. Are you the same person that you were yesterday? And that is part of our big question, which is? Philosophy. Yes, it's all about philosophy, and the philosophical question that we are looking at is, who am I? Okay, so who am I as a human? Who am I as a person? Am I the same person I was 5 years ago? And we've been exploring all the different areas to that big question of who am I? So when you show me your knowledge, you're going to show me the knowledge that you have about who you are and all the things we've covered in class. Where are you going to find that knowledge to help you to do this task? Where are you going to find it? Where is it?
In my head.
In your head? Yes. Where else? Because some of us might not have quite so good memories. Yes? In your... Oh, that's such a deep answer. In your soul. Yes, you might have feelings. And we talked about soul last week. But where else in class, boys? Where else in class, and those of you who are paying attention might see what I'm doing here, where else in class might you look? Yes, in your jotter, to find the information we're going to include here. Before we get to that though, how am I going to be successful, and how am I going to get it right in writing an informal email? So let's just take a minute. Have any of you ever written an informal email before and know what that might be like? Well, the first word is informal, so that's the opposite of formal. The opposite. So if you're being formal, how might you say hello to someone in a formal way? Hello. Tell me how you might say hello to someone in a formal way.
You would probably say like good evening or something.
Yeah, good evening. You might even go as far as good evening, kind sir. Or you might say, I can't do formal without an accent anyway, it's impossible. Boys, in a moment I'm going to ask you to do this, and you're going to have missed out on all of this important information. Okay, pay attention please. So it might be that you are that you have got an informal introduction, a formal introduction where you say good evening, or hello sir, or hello madam, because you don't know their name. If it's informal, you usually know their name, so it might be you calling them by their first name. So we're going to use first names in our email because that's part of an informal email. When you're writing a formal email, would you use slang words? No, you'd use proper English and proper language. If you're talking to someone informally, you usually know them and you know them quite well, and they're maybe your friends. So what types of things might you use in an informal email? Yes?
Hey there.
Hey there, yeah. So our greeting might be things like, hey. Yeah, what else might our greeting be? Yeah. Yo. And what else? The other one?
Might just use emojis.
Yeah, you might use emojis as well. So we can put emojis in there too. But these greetings are, is that the full word for hello?
No.
Is that the proper word for hello?
No.
Do we know what this is called when we shorten something or we make it something different? Do you know what that's called? Yep. Yeah, so you're definitely using slang, and you can use slang words in an informal email. And what's this? If we're not saying hello, but we're saying hey, what is that? Yep.
Shortened. Word?
Shortened, and there's a special word for it that begins with an A, if anyone might know it. Yeah, go for it. Good for you. Abbreviations, and this is where I have to try and spell it. You ready? So we could use abbreviations. Okay, we can use abbreviations in our slang, in our informal email. Okay, good. So when you're writing an informal email, you might use these types of things. When you say goodbye, are you going to say yours sincerely, yours faithfully? How might you sign off your email? How might you do that? Yeah. I know, and I'm filming myself, and I've spelt it wrong. So you correct me. How do I make that right? It's got a double B. I thought that. I just didn't want to do it just in case. Is that right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. So how are we going to sign off this email? How might we sign it off? Yes.
Like, do a C, like, yeah, like, see.
Yeah, see ya.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. We might have our sign off as see ya. All these types of things are good. Yes. Yeah, so that's good, isn't it? Because when we know someone's first name and we sign off a letter, we say yours sincerely. When we don't know their name and we say dear sir or madam, what do we say instead of yours sincerely? Do we know? Yeah. Good, yours faithfully. So if you do want to use a form like a nice sign off, you might say yours sincerely. You might say kind regards. You might say best wishes. Yeah, that's another one. If you do want to be best wishes. Okay, so yes, Darcy.
You can also say like, see you soon or something.
Yeah, see you soon. Yep.
And you can also write like IDK for I don't know.
Yeah, so we can use things like IDKLOLROL F. I don't know. Rolling on. No. I don't know. All of those ones you can use. Yes, you can. Right, hands down for a second. So in today's lesson, you're going to be showing me all the knowledge that you have about what we've covered in the course so far. You're going to be showing me that knowledge in an informal email, and here are the things that I'm expecting you to do in that writing of an informal email. But what about what's in it? What about what's in the email, the content? What I'm expected to read about, okay, the content of what's in the email. How are you going to know what I'm expecting there? Well, what have we covered in class? Look back in your jotter and tell me some of the things that if you were asked to do this, you might cover in your email. What might things that we cover in class? Look back in your jotter. What are humans like? Who am I? You were showing me your knowledge about what you know. What might you include? Oh, we got. What were you going to say to me? Yes, Dominic, you're going to define what humans are? You're going to define what humans are. And could you do that? Is it physically, like your physical, what physically humans are? Yeah? Okay, what else are you going to do in your content of your email? Yes, Darcy. Yeah, so you could tell me whether you think humans have a soul. What else might you include on there? What else have we looked at? We've looked at what humans are. We've looked at whether or not humans might have a soul. What did you compare me to in class? What did you compare Mrs. Thomas to in class? Do you remember? Look in your jotter. Remember me saying, what are the similarities or differences between Mrs. Thomas and... Did we do that? Okay. Right, I was getting you to think about what humans can do that other animals can't do. Yeah, do you remember that one? Yeah, so what you can do that other animals can't do. So how are humans different from other animals? Okay, so before I've even given you the activity that we're doing today, and now I'm going to give you that, we know that in today's lesson, this is what we're doing. This is the skill we're looking at. Here's what I'm looking for. And these are the things that I'm expecting to see in your email. So let's get started. I'm going to give every one of you one of these. Boys, I'm going to give every one of you one of these. And this is going to be our stimulus for today for writing our email to show you the knowledge that you know. So I'm going to give everyone one of these, we're going to read it over, and then we'll get started with our email. We're going to have to the end of this period and then to the end of next period to finish this. So it's going to be our best work so I can see what you have learned so far. Okay? Girls, you're going to help me out? So we're going to give one each of these. There you go. You go that way. You go behind you, and you go that way. So one goes each. That would be one.